Yo guys, what's up? This is your boy Kofi Mano, and today I am going to dive deep into the assignment we were given in class the last time, and we are going to code along and make sure that our assignment is fully done. Guess what? Today I will take you through the assignment step by step, and I will make sure that you understand the code whilst you code along with me. This is your boy Kofi Ima. Please, without much ado, let's get started. But before I start, please do well to subscribe to my channel, share with a friend who is also a student at the IT department, so that along the line we can all become coders. Then we make Ghana a better coding place. Let's go into it. So I will start by creating folders. So already we've gone through a lot of training already, and I think most of us we lag behind because we are not too much of tech related people, but we all learn. Practice, they say, makes man perfect. So this is what I normally, or this is how I normally start my coding. This is what we are supposed to do. So we have more like a company profile that has the main image, three other sub images all in row. I understand that understanding the work is also part of what doing it. So anytime you see that images are aligned in horizontal order, they are known as in a row in programming or in coding, especially HTML and CSS. If it is in the vertical order, we say it is in column. Put this in mind because you may get stuck. You want AI to even help you, and because you don't even know the terms to use, it would be very hard for you to get it done. Good. So this is what we are supposed to do. We need a main image and three other columns down there. And do you know something? Rows down there. Do you know something? This image is very wide in width. You also need to get an image very similar to that. Or if you are to use the normal image and you set a width and height, it is going to stretch the image. Please take this. All right. So we go straight into our code editor. I've already created a page with a folder with the name web assignment. Okay, so the same thing you do. I am big fan of VS Code editor, and I'll be using the VS Code throughout the entire lectures. Okay, so I've already created the index.html file. You also go on and create it. If you cannot or you don't know how to create it, it is only by Control N. Then it will create a new space. Then you only go to Control S and make sure that you save it index.html. Why .html? Yes, because we are writing an HTML document, and every HTML document ends with an extension known as .html. Other languages like C++ ends with .cpp. JavaScript ends with .js. The same way TypeScript ends with .tsx. Yes. So if you fail to bring the .html or .htm, it means that you wouldn't be able to what? Have the document shown in HTML, and the browser wouldn't recognize that very document to be an HTML document, making it hard for it to read it for you. All right, so I also have my browser very ready here. Today we're gonna dive into it. Okay, so we already have our live server, and before you get a live server, you also need to download certain what we call extensions. If you are using VS Code, you come to this section, extension, or Control Shift X would send you there. You search for the extension, you download the extension, then we continue from there. So you can download extensions like Prethia, an extension like Prethia. This is the name, Prethia. Okay, it is good you download it. Okay, so I will move straight into getting the boilerplate. If I say boilerplate, is like the initial structure that every HTML document needs. Other programming languages to have their boilerplate, like the C++, where you would have to type the hash include iostream using namespace st. The int main, it is always there. Okay, it's like you always need it. The same way the boilerplate in HTML2, you always need it. So a quick shortcut, you hit on the exclamation mark after you are done saving it, then you hit on enter. Boom, it's gonna get you all this done in once. You won't get this anywhere. You only have to let go back to, you only have to shift exclamation mark, then you hit enter. That is only when after you have saved the HTML file .html. You can save it email.html, any name, but it is good and best practice in programming that the root file or the main file you save it as index. Okay, all right, so I'm going on to use a boilerplate simple, but I have everything done in here. All right, so let's continue from here. So like we've already seen the structure, what we are supposed to do, we need to make sure that we have a main image and some other things. So top here, I think you already understand the doc type means that we are using HTML5. We have other versions like the HTML3. The HTML5 was released somewhere 2014 and it is still the current HTML that we're using. I know that in the future there might be HTML8 whatsoever dependent. So please know that the HTML5 means that the document type is, or the type is of the type of HTML is HTML5. Forgive me if I speed up because of time. All right, so we have the title. The title is what we see in our title bar, so or the tab in our browser. So here I will say company profile. All right, company profile. Please, I urge that you do Mavis Beacon teaches typing every now and then so that you equip yourself well with the typing, because every programmer, your mind should really go with the hands and you should be a very fast typist. Okay, so let's go on. So we've already set our title to company profile, and for you to know what the title means, up here you could see that I've not refreshed it. It is showing this. Let me refresh it and you could see that it is company profile. So what you see in there, this is what it shows. When you enter site, different website, what you see here is exactly what shows here inside an HTML. Let me let you know that HTML is the building block of every website or web page. Okay, it is the skeleton. In fact, if you cannot learn HTML, which is so fun to learn, then it means it will be very hard for you to learn other programming languages, because HTML, I wouldn't call it a programming language yet, but I will call it more of a markup language, just for building or the building blocks of what? Websites and web pages. I've already explained, or for the benefit of this tutorial, a web page is a single page, okay, that is created with HTML, or maybe in addition with CSS and JavaScript. But a website is more than a single page. So we have about 3 different pages made together makes it a website. You have the about us, contact us, homepage, it makes it a website. But just one page, we call it a web page. Good. So we continue with the lesson. We've already gotten our meter chart set, everything. We head on to what we call the BG color. So inside the body, we are going to create a body, then set it to BG color. So anytime you see BG color, it means you want to give the background a color, and I'm going to set it to gray for the purpose of this tutorial so that you could see it very well. Let's save it, go to our Chrome, then refresh. You could see that the background has turned to gray. Good. So you can turn it to any favorable color that personally you want to. All right, so we continue from there, then we go into by setting what we call the center. So the center only help synthesize everything that you are every code that goes in between the center. Make sure that it is centered within the middle horizontally of your web browser, anything that goes inside the center. So center, I'll set a paragraph here. Please, it is good that you always write your code in what? Lowercase and as small letters, one, because and yet a good practice a ultra code ultra no capital letter. It is only in some programming languages in a word and a capital was a woman then a capital. So patch of and also for 2 3 minutes a best set paragraph no use what we call the p tag. Anytime you see p is like ultra paragraph. Okay, so we have a paragraph here. Maybe what I am doing, your friend indentation. If you are code no a question number say your friend indentation. I will do another video no match him why into because this one my next will my say and only she we say in say no about the same line. I will explain to you in further tutorials. Into bombarding and like it, subscribe, and share my on your also a different class, group C, E, F, or even a different school. No, so into me and so I will set the font, and the font I will set size for the font like let me use 12. So 12 as the font size. Into we no paragraph and I say test now what on any case. 12 now to me changing it to a different number. What your color so we are friend attribute anything inside the opening tag of an HTML element, a friend attribute. What the boa style that very tag normal content, and what we are doing now, you use what we call the inline CSS because lecture non share an external CSS and I don't want to move so fast to that until you use inline CSS to attain exactly what the lecturer wants us to. Or be change external so I may pass a video you be external CSS still it will look just like we na here until color no so font color no mefa black because text no me person and you black. Then I have your company profile. On the normal day, in Kahasi, I will say you use what we call the href or link because of how it's but lecture no how or there no two board no or share winner. It doesn't look like a link. Well, until you the same thing the amount because I see yen replicating your widen. Why until you better has a profile. You better profile yeah company you better profile. Now you baby better what manager. Now last one we are anything other stuff. So we are done with that very section. Now we're closing if okay. Now young head yeah. Sorry makobia de foforo. To obana ore fresh na obi say abeda mfimfini kama center na you use wo no na amana ba beda mfimfini no. So we will continue beneath the paragraph no na just sign acquire a different one. We are moving now to the main section image. Okay, you see, this is what we are going to do. I know so you've been here P barco L. Now inside the P, we would have to have what we call the IMG SRC. And IMG SRC nature is a per se will link an image to your work, and the IMG SRC will choose a location within your folder where your image is. We will make creative folder be workspace in my friend IMG into making sure say folder no image no wafa no pepepe nti eno ane say we no assume by default say already wo folder na workspace which is web_assignment page no eno na was ro ha no nti what we are going to do is maybe we image no one the folder be me friend IMG into bebo IMG uwia IMG ni mu na folder image no nti obebo // no ebe move we free sa image no akọ a folder nimu ebie nyoma e folder nimu no, and inside the folder may use ade from nm.jpg a picture. That is what I'm going to use. Me we are na my heading see I'm na my try what we call the alt and I say alternative text into alternative nature is I say yes alternatively yenye ni say ne yentumi anya there is an alternative way a kwan for into alternative no metro say this is the main page what picture. Sani America na wase how we type intentem na aboa ma o type ya wadwuma no aye simple ama untumi nhwe keyboard and so and type bibia. So this is the alternative what it does. Make sure how the alternative works. Then if we also we are adding another attribute of width at anything team it is 1250 pixels. Pixels because in web we normally use pixels. Ebinum so e use rem ni other symbol conversion, but it is best you use the pixel. That is what is well accepted. Near core height in tintim measure 330 pixels. Good. So if we height now, what you have to do is to close your image. Image, any closing tag, it is just one. Now what will be biawo. Inti Mr. Yanko be we no na you better refresh and you could see that nicely the image be above. Make sure that the image that you are bringing in is more or less in the same width as the placeholder image na a one year lecture no editor anymore because this is it. Inti me nkofa ade kutua bi embeto ho. And yes, I was stretching it is going to look different. Okay. Nti yewie eno no saa no, we will continue to the column layout. That is near wo asie ewo aha. I hope you are following. Unti bibia say you can go back and play, and as obi to me apose na basan ayeden ahwe no bi. Nti me de beto aha say p na chi na mabo enter na push me to the next line. So inside the next line, make sure what we call the span, and maybe a actual style no, this time no, my man will display what inline block. See, my man is displaying inline block. Then maybe move mouse number pointer number and man width of 400 pixels. That is picture me de show on the tintin. We are na my back we na chibim na my man height as we did for now. My indicate man margin crans and by 8 pixels b. If you were my man okay, we don't necessarily even have to give this very one way, because we are talking about the anything team on we know a team we never no. Let me show you this very one. The team until 400 pesos for now. Okay, 400 plus 400, 800, 1200. Until anything team near 1220 chemu miensa. Into one side should be 400. But what I say, and imagine here a coin na da infinity has saying what the margin be in between a hand. That is the margin. But what I say, space na da at any move on. When you see it anywhere, you should understand. Okay, into only 8 pixels now. Text dash align. So what the text dash align does is to center the text. Okay, me say and center text. No, me we are na mabaha abi close. No, come. After say my ba abi close and no area no. There is another section down here. So we use to VS Code. Anytime you see any number, it means a problem be aba. Ube to me share and it will guide you where exactly the problem is now. What the debug the problem. All right, so let's continue with P. Anytime we see P, we say it is what? Paragraph. So text align. I'm going to align a text to the left. So this will be the text inside our code. So maybe I'm a font. This time I'm going to give a font size of like 6, not 12, 6. My font size, area. Then I will write BBC World News. Good. So this should be here. MB we no na share near BBC World News. Inti what they call back now we no more and no was through has no na good. But let's continue. All right. So after we are done with our BBC World News, we go back and add another image, IMG SRC machimo we means I am. In fact, image no opa obetro image na nkasa ne baby ehye obetumi abo dot so dot no so boam ye movie within the folder. You can move around the folder. One dot means inside the folder. / brings the items within the folder. If you enter double dot and you go with /, it will move you out of the folder to a higher route inside your folder. Obo dot bo 3 and also the obe a different place. Into here we no mebo hash no. Two things came / no me bo mienu me ye we no edema call me desktop was a baby sakra, so I only use the / you can use the other way na me share in the first and also, and it will still give you the same thing. Now about image folder needing, then I will use the bbc.jpg here. But the extension .jpg is very important. If you don't bring it, the image is still not going to show. And I told you I was going to show you what this one does. This is the main image. Yensha then delete p, one thing gets off and everything goes off. Ubemu say that this is the main image. So should in case we use internet because you are using the alt, it is still going to show you say it is this particular image and I will say load here into me heading and load on. But let's continue from there. Okay, so image SRC we image, we are going to give this one to alternative and say BBC what news. Until when you crash this image and load here, you know that it's about BBC what news. Then we will set a width to 400 because already you set here the width nangasa span the width to 400. That is the section width already to 400. Then I will also go on and set a height. So 400 pixels. Then I will set a height. And the height too, I'm going to make sure that it is somewhere 300 pixels. 300 pixels. My mistake in the height, set height that should be is equal to 300 pixels. No, I need to say. Then you delete one of this. This one to get rid of this. You close it nicely. Okay, so we are then you close it. Now you're above form. Then we write another style, PBM style. This is going to be about near what we know. So we are going to now write what is beneath this one here. So let's continue. So the P style, I'm going to give it a text align. If I say text, ever left, I'll say left. I will say the text should align to the left side. Then from there, I will give it a font, and this time I'm going to give a font size of 5. Font size of 5. Then I would say BBC World News. Then say or I will use what we call the lorem. Obo lorem now obo enter. It is going to write this, so a lot of rubbish. You can just anytime you want to try it, you can just type lorem and hit enter. If you are using VS Code, it is going to give you all these codes. Okay, so now that we are done with that one, let's come down and do the last one, font. Okay, so font helps you to style your text. Okay, the font style with the font color, everything font color. So I'm not going to use primary, I'm going to use blue because the text there inside the thing was blue. Then I'll use the U means underline in HTML. Then I'll write read more. So anytime you want to underline a text, you would have to use the U. In fact, in the real term, it should have been a link, but just like I said, we're only following what the lecturer gave us, so we are going to use U. So you could see that we already have the very first section done, and it is in the middle because we use the center tag, and the other images has not come. We've created only one section, so it is forcing it to be in the middle. I'm going to remove some of these text in order not to make it too bulky. Okay, so now that we have this is what I'm going to do. I'm only going to copy this from the span here down here to the span. I'm only going to copy this, then I will repaste it down because in here 2 columns and it is barely the same thing. See, my copy means and me save. We will now refresh. You could see that I didn't know comma, and you could see that everything is now working. Are we getting it? Everything is now working. So what we can do more now is, so let's see, there is this thing we could let's go back. We could see that the blue in the document here aligns down. Let's see, let's move it back and see. Let's push it back. Sorry. Inside the document itself, the blue is supposed to, this one's supposed to be here, left here, just like this one is, but it is showing center here. So this is the problem. You go down, then you check, instead of this one supposed to rather come to this very side. Okay, this one too supposed to move from that very side, cut it and come to this very side. You save it, then you go back to your browser, and boom, you have everything working. So let's quickly change the background from gray to a color like white. Okay, then refresh it and see, boom. So you can continue by changing the pictures. Okay, you can't use one picture for all. So this is BBC. I would want to change this very one from BBC to DW News, and it has changed it to DW News. I would change the top here to DW News because we copied. we were supposed to do it one after the other, DW News. Then the other one has to be CNN News, right? So the last one I would say CNN what news. Good. So this is what you're supposed to do here too. We will change one of it. Um, / then we say NWS. Let's refresh it and boom. We have BBC, DW, CNN News. So this is how you can have your work well done. You can even go on and lastly, the main image, you can still make it like 300, which means you are going to decrease the width. Boom, at awareness. So then this is your work. So thank you so much for watching my tutorial. Please do play around these codes, change it, keep changing the height, the width, then see how best, like change this to 250 or 200, better still, 250, 250. The other one to try, then change it to 250, 250, or better still 220. Okay, 220, 227, then refresh it. You could see that it looks quite good. Let's still try, then change this very one, 220. You could see that we are getting exactly what the lecturer had posted. So this is what we have, and this is what the lecturer gave us. So indirectly, we have exactly what the lecturer was gave us. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please do well to subscribe to this channel, share with a friend, and be quick to subscribe to it. And please, the more that you share and subscribe, the more that you make the YouTube algorithm what better. Until then, bye.